Welcome to Threesum with Savannah Skinner. Today we have, of course, what you can imagine, a 2026 episode. This is about the year ahead of us. This is about where we're going. This is about not who we've been, but the direction that we're taking this year. And so 3 people are in this conversation. You, me, and our 2025 selves. We would like to say thank you to them. Thank you for taking us here. Thank you for bringing us here. Thank you for those million shots that we took on New Year's Eve. I'm so sorry to the man behind me as I had to pour out my tequila shot. Thank you for that. Thank you for her. We appreciate the fun and the energy and the vibes that she brought to our 2025. And now we would like to take a look at our 2026 self, to our future, to our year ahead, and think really deeply about the energy that we want to take into this year. For me personally, this year is about being curated and about being approachable. And this may sound cheesy to say, this is your year of you. This is the year of you focusing on your 2 values, or maybe your phrase that you've come up with. Some of my friends, their phrases were like lean in or do more. It seems like there's this common energy of people wanting to be more of themselves, people wanting to lean into their authenticity and into a more curated version of themselves. And so this is a year about figuring out you and what makes you feel good. Whether it's listening to music or going on your little treadmill, like I just did my little 15 minutes on my walking pad, like watching my favorite YouTuber, like that is the energy that we want to take into this year. Part of figuring out what so deeply makes you feel you is leaning into this intuition. And we all have this like voice inside ourselves. It may not even be a voice, it may just be a feeling of like, this is right, this feels good, this feels right for me, and it just feels like peace and it feels like alignment. And so leaning into that intuition and not just like the noise or even the logic, like hearing some of the stories of people who have talked about their lives, like some of my aunts and uncles who are in their 50s and 60s. They've had a long career, they've had a successful career, they've had kids, and they look back and their lives, they feel so unsatisfied. Yet logically, it all makes sense. They made the right career moves, they moved to the right area, they went to the right school for their kids, and yet they come out and go into retirement and it feels misaligned. Their lives feel misaligned with who they actually are. And we don't need that, girls. We are better than this. We are leaning into our intuition, into our alignment, and into these curated hobbies, these curated energy, vibes, hobbies that make us feel more of ourselves. And next, I have a couple of tips. 2 in particular. It's easy to say lean into your intuition, lean into what makes you you, lean into these hobbies, but like when you think about the day-to-day tasks of like grocery shopping and getting to your job and like hanging out with your friends, like there's a lot to do. And so it's hard to always prioritize these things that make us feel like ourselves. And for me, the most important thing to do is reducing the tension between my alignment and my hobbies and in making it easy and seamless into my day-to-day life. So I just talked about this. I love my walking pad. I love to go on a walk, but you know, the sun sets earlier. Girl, that thing is down by 5 o'clock, 5:30, like, and it's up 7:38. Like if you work a 9 to 5 like me, you work a regular girl job, like I'm at work the whole time the sun's out. There's no time to go for a walk to see the sunset. And I'm definitely not walking at night. Like girls, you know it. Like I respect those who can. I respect girls with like their fierce dogs who go out for their nighttime walks. I am not that girl. So getting like the walking pad has allowed me to keep this hobby that I love so much and something that like feeds me in a way that is so like cohesive with my actual life and realistic to my life. Like I can turn my walking pad on anytime I want. I get up and maybe I have like 15 minutes before I need to start getting ready. I can just do my little walk. I don't need to walk down the 4 flights of my apartment stairs and put on a jacket and check the weather and figure out all these things. And then I can come home at night and maybe I've gone for a drink with my friends. Like, I'm not going out on a walk regardless of what time of day it is. If I've been drinking or whatever. And so I just turn on the walking pad, and it's so easy and it just fits into my life so well. And another thing about reducing tension is not only about focusing on the hobbies or the things that you want to bring into your life, but also acknowledging the hobbies or the habits that you have in your life that you don't love about yourself. For me and my family, we are a TV family through and through. We grew up, we watched NCIS, regular one, we watched NCIS LA, we watched Hawaii Five-0. Every single night of the week, we had our set TV shows that we watched religiously. And starting to work a job, starting to realize like how much is on my plate, I don't have the time to have 5 or 6 shows that I love and sit down and plop my butt down, put my little blanket on and have my full attention on that. But yet I'm still that girl. I'm still that TV girl, and I love watching a show. And so reducing the tension of not feeling like I have the time while still being able to be like that show watching self, like, has been like incorporating that into a hobby, into a habit that I really like. I've talked about my walking pad till the day I die. Girl, if you don't have one, you need one. Get off the vibrating plate, get onto the walking pad. It's cheap. I got mine like $60 from this sweet older guy off of Facebook Marketplace. Like, he had bought it for physical therapy and was done, and it literally, that $60, best investment I ever made. And so like, I can now watch my favorite show while still doing like my productive hobby, my productive habit. And it can be like the same for you, whether it's like yoga or stretching or walking, and still having like your TV on. Like, reduce the tension with these habits that you don't always love about yourself, but are yet still like a part of you. Another thing is, this is my second tidbit for you, is about presence. We make our lists. We get up in the morning and we have our entire itinerary. We have our list of things that need to get done. We have our schedule. We know exactly who we're hanging out with. We know where the girls are going for dinner. We know what we're eating for dinner because we meal prepped. Like, and that's great and dandy, but it takes out this level of presence and of active involvement in your own experience of life. The girls are like, oh, hey, anyone want to catch a last minute dinner? And you're like, no, I can't because I already have my meal prep in the fridge. And like, that's great. Stop, take a deep breath, and be present in that situation. And also realize that like, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to go see the girls, you want to catch a bite with them. Let's stick the meal prep in the freezer. Let's stick our plans that we don't need to have like to the wayside, to be involved in that moment and be present, to be available for these sporadic encounters, these sporadic plans, because that is what makes life so fun. When you're like last minute, like, let's do this, or you meet somebody new in a coffee shop and you're like, oh, I really need to leave, but like, you still have that 5 minutes to have that conversation that could change your life plan, that could change your trajectory, that could just even be meaningful to you, that could just fill you up. And having the presence to sit, to note that this is what's happening and it's not always what I planned, but having the presence to sit there and embrace it is going to make life exponentially better. This sense of presence has changed my friendships so much. Being present in that conversation, being present in their emotional states as well, and in your own. It's so easy to say like, oh, I need to feel this way in order to get this done, or I need to feel this way because this is the vibe, but being present in your own emotions. Maybe you're out to coffee with a friend and you're like, I just feel this anxiety of the things I need to do. And to say that and to have that presence of your emotions with your friend and say, girl, I just feel anxious. I just feel like behind. I feel upset. And to be present in that emotion and acknowledge it is, one, soothing and helpful for yourself, and also two, it gives your friend the ability to show up and be present for you in that emotional experience. And the same goes vice versa. Your friend shows up, she's like, girl, I am going through something. Or maybe she's like, I am on top of the world. And maybe you don't feel like you're on top of the world. Maybe something went bad at work, or you just feel a little down. And to be present in that and receive that energy from the other person and be like, she's so on top of the world. Like that energy is like seeping into me, and I can feel that on top of the world. And being present enough to take that like emotional like wavelength and that emotional energy from somebody else, like it will change your game. And so those are my 2 tips: reduce tension and be present. And I have made my vision board. I went to Walgreens, printed out all these photos. I did photos of myself. I did photos from Pinterest. Thank you, Pinterest, for all of your ideas, all your inspirations. Like, they really have the cutest things that I never would have thought of, and photos I never would have taken in my real life that like have led to creating this like vision of the year I want to have. In this year of being curated and approachable, and of moving more forward into ourselves. And for everyone out there listening, for our 2026 self sitting here with me today and our 2025 self, I would like to say thank you to our 2025 self, and thank you to our 2026 self for listening to this podcast, for wanting to be better than we are, and for seeking inspiration for sources outside of our immediate environment, for going to YouTube or podcasts or wherever it is you go and saying, I so clearly see the woman I want to become, and I know that I need a community of women who also want the same thing. Thank you, Threesomers. Have a good night. This is Savannah Skinner.